Tom Webb is a box office failure. There's also the Bob Marley movie. We'll get to the full box office around Sunday or Monday. We will not be tracking these movies until Sunday or Monday. See how much these movies will make, and if they could possibly make even and make money. Of course, the first weekend is obviously not the indication at it, but Madame Web, no one cares about this movie. It only opened to a $6 million. Okay, and they hoping this in 4,000 theaters. Yeah, theaters are gonna be really regretting their choice of Madame Web. Okay, very regretting their choice because no one likes this movie. No one cares about this movie. Okay. Heck, Aquaman is doing better than Madame Web. You know, if you compare it to box office numbers. Okay, Madame Web is a box office flop. Only made 6 million. Okay, you say that's a Wednesday number. Oh yeah, Wednesday is a Valentine's Day, a pretty big holiday. Of course, a lot of people do not celebrate Valentine's Day, but these numbers are not too good for a massive superhero blockbuster, a Marvel movie per se. Someone said, "Oh, don't call it a Marvel movie." Oh yeah, it's based off Spider-Man, which is a Marvel property. Okay, you can compare it to Morbius. Yeah, we could compare it to Morbius. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Morbius's first day was 17 million. Yes, Morbius's first day was 17 million. Of course, that was a Friday. Friday is a much bigger week. But compare it day to day, Morbius is defeating Madame Web. Yes, Madame Web will likely end up making barely over $40 million. That is my projections for Madame Web. Bob Marley Love 1 will probably make like 670 to 670 amount of money to Morbius domestically as well. I see that movie having pretty good legs, given the fact that it's the only movie for like the next 2 weeks. Okay, for people to watch besides Driveway Dolls, which we don't know the reception of Driveway Dolls is. Anyone But You has performed relatively well on Wednesday. But Madame Web, absolutely no one wants to see this movie. Okay, no one wants to see Madame Web. Okay, it's doing worse than the Marvels. Okay, it's doing worse than Morbius. It is the worst performing superhero movie since the 2000s. Okay, that's how bad this movie is doing. Okay, it's the worst performing superhero movie since the 2000s, as well when stuff like Catwoman came out. Okay. Yeah. But seems that yeah, Love One, a lot of people love it. Not the critic. I don't like it. We don't pay attention to what the critics say, but a lot of people said that movie was good. But Madame Web, no one likes this movie. No one likes Madame Web. Even the bond paid for audience score is at 58%. Not even the bond paid for audience score is above 60%, which is very awful for a Rotten Tomatoes audience score. Okay, very awful. So we have the score on IMDb here. I don't use IMDb anymore, but it has a 3.9 on IMDb. That is lower than the Marvels. That is lower than Morbius. That's lower than F4, that one that came out in 2015. That is lower than the water movies. Okay, that's lower than the water movies. This score is like actual bad movie level. Okay, this movie has actual bad movie level scores. Okay, like real bad movie. Okay, you look up Morbius on IMDb. Okay, Morbius has a 5.2 on IMDb. Okay, Of course, it's rated. Oh, that is obviously rated higher with the joke reviews. It's probably around 4.8, excluding all the joke reviews that gave it a 10 out of 10 because it's funny. But Morbius is a much higher rated movie. Another movie that was completely horrible is Birds of Prey. Okay, this horrible movie that everybody forgot about, 6.1, and everybody said this movie was awful. I said it was awful too. It was an awful movie. Okay, it still has a much higher score than Madame Web. Okay, more people liked this movie than Madame Web. Okay, we also have the Marvels. Which is often considered one of the worst movies of 2023, has a 5.6 out of 10 out of 100,000 reviews. Okay. What is the worst rated movie on the top 10s? Oh, it's still that Justin Bieber movie. I think that's because they hate the Justin Bieber. I don't know why that's number one worst movie of all time. There's much worse movies than the Justin Bieber movie, but even some of the worst movies of all time, Madame Web is on par with these movies. Okay, it's still higher rated than like Dragon Ball Evolution or like the really bad Catwoman movie. Those movies, but Madame Web is on the same level as movies like Dragon Ball Evolution and Catwoman. Okay, it might go above 4 out of 10 on IMDb. Okay, but these movies, these are basically in the same level as Madame Web. Okay, Madame Web is officially a bad movie, a city movie that no one wants to see. Okay, and the box office is gonna reflect this. It's gonna have Morbius level rigs. That's what I expect out of this, and it even opened to number one, which is something a Marvel movie should be doing. That's based off the Spider-Man IP. That's based off the Spider-Man property. One of the most popular characters of all time. And yet, these Spider-Man IP movies continue to not make money. Sony really needs to stop making these Spider-Man, spin-off movies that no one likes, no one cares about. Okay, yes, the Morbius one was funny. The Morbius jokes were funny, that they even re-released it into the theaters, but Madame Web is just a joke at this point. People don't like these Spider-Man spin-off movies, and they need to end. Okay, sorry to just give control of Spider-Man over to the Marvel, Marvel themselves, and stop making these garbage movies that absolutely zero people want to see. Because movies like Madame Web are hurting theaters. Okay, because Sony does not care. We could have got an actual good movie like Kung Fu Panda 4 or Dune 2 if Madame Web didn't exist, and we could have had a great, weekend for Valentine's Day. But nope. For some reason, everyone, besides that Bob Marley BIPOC, wanted to avoid Madame Web because they were so scared of this movie. Okay, yeah, I don't understand it either. I don't understand the way Hollywood works. Hollywood really thought this movie would be a massive hit. They really thought this movie would be a massive hit. But again, just like the Marvels, I think people are not going to be scared of these Marvel movies anymore. They're not going to be scared of these Marvel movies anymore, like the Marvels or Madame Web. And movie studios are going to stop releasing movies to compete with Marvel. Okay? And Marvel will not be treated as a serious movie series anymore. And that's all about this video here. Goodbye.